to the Hunger Games Live, or what we in the Capitol like to call HGL. I'm your host, Lorianne Schreier, filling in for my co-host, Caesar Flickerman. We begin tonight's broadcast with a brief summary of the history of how the Hunger Games started. Panem. Panem is the country that rose up out of the ashes of a place that was once called North America. Things like disasters, droughts, storms, fires, floodings, and a brutal war destroyed America. The result of the tragedies. The result was Panem, a shining capital ringed by 13 districts which brought peace and prosperity to its citizens. The capital is a place that used to be the Rockies. Then came the Dark Days, the uprising of the districts against the capital. 12 were defeated, the 13th obliterated. The Treaty of the Treason was signed, which gave us the new laws to guarantee peace, and as an early reminder of the Dark Days, which can never be repeated, the Hunger Games were born. The Hunger Games serve as a reminder about the Dark Days in each of the 12 districts. Must provide one girl and one boy called tributes to participate. This segment, we look at the process of selection of the tributes. It all begins with the reaping. It's where all the tributes are selected from each district to participate in the games. Kids between 12 and 17 are eligible for selection. This year, you become eligible, your name goes in one time at 13, twice and so on. Until the last year of eligibility, your name is entered 7 times. But viewers, here's the catch. The poorest of our citizens can opt in to add their names more times in exchange for what is called tesserae. Each tesserae is worth a year's supply of grain and oil for one person, and each child may do this for each of their family members. At the reaping, one girl and one boy are selected to participate. Opening ceremony. Directly after the public reaping, our tributes are brought right here to the Capitol on a 250-mile-hour train. Here they get ready for the opening ceremonies, trainings, and interviews before heading to the arena. When there is no more training left to do, 24 tributes will be locked in an outdoor arena where they will fight to the death until there is one tribute left standing. All of this happening while all of Panem watches live. The winner receives a life of ease, and their entire district will be showered with prizes such as food, sugar, oil, and grain. Oh, I just love these game arenas. In fact, many of us here in the Capitol visit the old arenas for a vacation. For our feature report tonight, we take a brief look at the tributes and specifically District 12's Katniss Everdeen. Victors. In the past years, our usual victors come from District 1, 2, or 4. In District 1, 2, or 4, we regularly get volunteers during the reaping. Tributes from these districts are amply fed and trained, although we all know it's technically against the rules to train tributes before they could reach the Capitol. A source close to Katniss says District 12 citizens call them career tributes, or careers for short. Katniss. And now what you have all been waiting for, our special feature on District 12 Katniss Everdeen and her journey so far. As you know, she's from District 12, the coal district. Did you know that it used to be known as an Appalachia before the war? District 12 has 8,000 citizens and is divided up into parts, the Salem and Merchant. Katniss is from Salem part, which is the poor section. But then again, who is really rich in District 12 anyway? Now let's take a look at the environment Miss Everdeen has to face so far in the arena. It's very hot during the day and freezing cold at night. We have seen that there are plenty of trees, the pine trees that Katniss uses to hide her tracks from the others, and the willow trees she frequently climbs to sleep in and hide from the career hunting group. We also have seen Katniss hike through the valleys and hills to find different sources of water from the main lake near Cornucopia, the ponds where she treated her burns, and the stream she found drinking water from. Oh, and don't forget the blossom flowers she used to decorate her ally, Rue's body after she was killed with a spear from the boy from District 1, or about the rocks she hid from the fireballs. Now over to Shane for animals and extras.
Thanks, Lori. Speaking of fireballs, the arena is full of what the game makers like to call extras, and we here at the Capitol call mutations, or mutts for short. As you know, during the rebellion, the Capitol bred a series of genetically altered animals as weapons. So far in the arena, we've seen fireballs that burned Katniss Everdeen's jacket and made that ugly injury on her calf. Good thing she got that burn medicine from her sponsors. Fire that pushed the tributes together to fight. Poisoned smoke, venom from the tracker jackers. They are the large wasps that cause hallucinations. We saw Katniss Everdeen use them when she was in a tree to fight the career pack on the ground. And don't forget the Mockingjay, the bird that was practically become the logo of the Hunger Games. These birds copied Little Rue's 4-note tune so that Katniss could find her right before she died.
Shane, speaking of Mockingjays, if you haven't noticed, Katniss has worn a pin from her district that has the Mockingjay symbol throughout the game. Did you know that the pin was given to her by Madge Undersea? She is the daughter of District 12's mayor. Okay, boys, we didn't forget about you for our final segment. We focused on skills and weapons seen in the game.
We saw Katniss's weapon of choice is definitely the bow and arrow. After all, she risked everything to finally get her hands on a bow and arrow in the arena after death of Glimmer, the courier from District 1, before her body was picked up by a Capitol hovercraft. I guess I can make it in the Hunger Games too.
Until tomorrow's broadcast, and as District 12 escort Effie Trickett always says, happy Hunger Games and may the odds be ever in your favor, or at least the favor of our favorite star-crossed lovers. Thank you for tuning in into HDL, not like you really have a choice. I'm your host, Lori Ann Schreier. Good night.